Hey there YouTube, Donnie Smith here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put a light bar on a 2009 Nissan. So I got a package in the mail from Oxbeam, oxbeam.com. I'll put a link down in the description. I ordered some lights. I've got a light bar, also got some fog lights. In this video, we're going to do the light bar that goes down in the bumper, and I'll show you the steps that I take. But first of all, let's check this out. Make sure it is the light bars. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Kind of want to show you what comes in the package. You know, you get all your brackets to hook the light bars up. Of course, you get the light bar, and really cool looking. And get all that. You also get the wiring harness, which I'll show you in a minute. Here's the other lights, the fog lights that I'm going to hook up. And pretty cool. And again, this is from Oxbeam, and I'm going to put a link down in the description so you can learn more about that. Really happy with them. Anyway, this is a wiring harness. It comes from everything. One end hooks up to your battery and a ground, and the other end hooks up to your, inside the truck to a switch that turns it off and on. So it has everything you need when you order this kit. So the first thing I'm going to do to install this, I'm going to remove the grill. Now there's 4 clips up there on top, a couple on the side, and some on the bottom. Really easy to remove. You just get a flathead screwdriver and you twist that clip and they will come out. And there's 2 on the side that you'll have to squeeze with some pliers or something. Squeeze that clip and then pull on the grill slightly and that will come out. Now, a lot of times you can see those bottom clips from underneath the grill. You couldn't on this one, so I'm going through the top here. And I'm basically just pushing in on that clip and then using the screwdriver to kind of pry it off. So the bottom clips are going to stay in the grill and the top clips are staying on the car, on the pickup. So you get those done, you can take the grill off, and here you can see the different clip mount locations. A couple on the side, 4 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Pretty easy to get the grill off. And here I'm just showing you how you can use the flat blade to twist that and then it'll come out. Now here's something kind of aggravating. Someone put this truck together at one point and didn't put all the bolts in. So the headlight's loose. You know, this truck obviously has been wrecked before, before I got it. And I hate when I find stuff like that. Kind of aggravates me. We're just going to test this light bar before we hook it all up, make sure it works. And it does, so that's a good thing. Now I'm showing you the brackets, how these teeth line up and how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install these brackets. Now I'm not going to get them tight because I don't know how I'm going to want to adjust it. Not 100% sure where I want to mount it at this point. Still kind of thinking about it. There's some different locations you could go depending on what you like. Some people might want to go on top of the bumper. I'm wanting to go underneath the bumper. My first intention was that radiator support, that lower part right there, is to mount the light bar to that. But just the way the brackets was designed and the way that lower grill fits in there, it just didn't work out the way I wanted. So I decided to mount it underneath the bumper. Was a little problem with that because where it gets narrow at, that's where the light bar mounts at, right there. I was hoping that it would mount where it's wider at, so I'd have more room to drill into that. But I went to Ace Hardware and just got a simple bracket like this, and now the bolt that's on there can bolt into the light bar, and I can drill a hole in the bumper, to mount it. So it worked pretty good. And the way I did this, I just got it up there, knew where I wanted it, I marked it, and I just got a self-centering punch, one of those ones that's spring-loaded. And you just push on it, it pops, and it'll make a small indentation. And this is just something to help seat your drill bit. So I did 2 of those. I went ahead and marked both of them, but I only used that inside one. That one right there is really the only one that I decided to use. Then I get a drill and drill it out, and that's pretty simple. That's all there is to that, Now we're getting the light bar and we're leaving everything loose till we get it adjusted where we want, just to see how it's going to fit. We still got to put that lower grill in, but we're going to get it in. We're going to go ahead and bolt it up, see if we like it, and see how it all fits. Got us a little audience now. And on the light bar, you'll have to put some connections on, some electrical connections to plug into the harness. So we get it all looking good. Now there is a modification that I'm going to have to do to this grill. And that's those top bars there. I'm just going to have to cut those out. Now, there's other ways you can mount this grill if you're not wanting to cut nothing on your vehicle. You know, that's fine. There's some other ways you could find. But this is what I wanted to do, and I thought it would look best. Wasn't my first plan, but this is what we went with. Now we're just seeing how it fits in there. And now we had to take the light bar back out so that we could put this in and mark the locations where we drill the holes, because we want the holes for the grill to line up with the holes in the bumper. So we drilled those out. Now we're putting it back in, and once that's in, we can install the light bar. And we're going to bolt down each side, get it in there. It was a tight fit, you know, it pushed down on that bottom just a little bit, but I think it looks really good. I mean, I'm happy with the way this looks. And again, you might not like this. You may have another plan that you're wanting to, somewhere you want to install that. You know, it's totally up to you. So, and of course, we got a bolt and put back in this headlight because that was driving me crazy. Now just hooking it up to the harness, so that part's hooked up. And we also, you know, I want to hook the fog lights in a little bit, but we spliced that into the same line so that when you turn the one switch we're going to have on, you know, it turns all of the lights on. Now we're just getting the clips, and if it was in the vehicle, you need to take them out. You can just get some pliers and squeeze on them, pull them out, and then you can put them in the grill. And then you just get the grill once all the clips are in there. Very simple. You line them up and just push on it, and the grill pops back in. Very simple grill to remove and install. Okay, now we're going to do the fog lights. And this just has a clip on the bottom. I'll show you here in a minute, that right there. And it goes inside that hole on that bottom of the bumper. Now that hole right there, that's what we're going to use to install the fog lamp. So this is really simple. I mean, we're just taking that out, going to use the hole that is already there and mount it there. And it comes with all the brackets. You know, these brackets are adjustable, you know, depending how you want to mount it. We're going to mount it, like I said, on that hole and have that bracket facing the bottom. So we're installing that, getting it ready. And now we just need to put the wire through that hole in the back, and we're going to install that bolt through that hole that the clip uses. Once you get it in, positioned where you want it, then we can get underneath and tighten up that nut. And of course, after you get it all on, you're going to have to do some final adjusting on your light bars. You know, you might want them aimed a little higher, a little lower, you know, so you'll have to fine tune that a little bit. Okay, so I'll show you where I went through the firewall at, right there. And you can see that cable coming through. That's for the hood release. That's where I decided to come through the firewall out. So I reached in and pulled that rubber grommet out. And I'm going to run my wires through that and then plug that back in. So little tight fit. I mean, in here is not too bad, but the firewall in this is kind of hard to get to from the outside. So with a lot of things when I'm doing this, I'll use a coat hanger and to run my wires. Now another thing I did, I decided to use a different type switch, so I just cut it right there, and I'll show you that switch here in just a little bit. And I decided to go ahead and take my hood release off just to give me a little bit more room to work with everything. Now I'm just using some black tape to hook the wire up to the coat hanger that I'm using so that I can pull it through that rubber seal. And the first thing I'm going to do is the wire has to come through the firewall coming this way. So it looks like I'm kind of doing it backwards because I need for that to come, you know, the wire coming in. So I'm going to push it in first. And then here in a little bit I will show you how I get the plug that plugs into the rest of the harness to the outside. And this sometimes can be a little difficult, a little tight fit. What you may have to do is get some dish soap or something like that just to help make it slide through easier. You know, that'll help quite a bit. So I ran that through. Then you can, of course, take the black tape and the coat hanger off, and then you have the wire in the, you know, through the garment now, or through the seal. And now I am going to take the plug that plugs into the harness on the outside of the pickup, and I'm just going to use some tape and tape that together. And once I have that done, I can fish that through there, through the hole where that goes, into the firewall area. And I'm going to push quite a bit because, like I said, this firewall sits pretty far back in this pickup. It's hard to get into this area. So I'm going to push it in there pretty far, you know, far as I can. And then I'm out on the outside of the pickup, and now I can reach through there and grab that and go ahead and pull that through. And now I can plug it into the harness that comes with it. Okay, on the inside I need a hot wire, so I found a plug that's not in use, and I'm going to use the hot wire for that to plug in the hot wire. And I'm going to strip that, and I'll show you how I connect that here in just a little bit. And now I'm showing you why I cut that switch. You know, you could just, it has adhesive, you could stick it on there, but this had some switches that are not being used on this pickup, and you can just get a cheap switch like this from Ace Hardware, and it pops right in there, makes a great fit, and I just preferred to do that. It did not cost much extra, $6-7 I think, I'm not sure. So anyway, that's what I decided to do. And now we can get ready to put that back on after we get the wiring done. Now I still have 2 wires that I need to put electrical connections on, so that it plugs into the back of this switch, and that's what I'm doing right here. There's just 2. You know, I'll crimp those on, and then I can plug that into the switch, and that will operate the lights. Okay, now I still have that hot wire that I had in there. I need to put that together, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use heat shrink. So I'm putting that on there, and then I'm going to twist the wires together, and then I'm going to solder the wires together. So I'm going to get some heat. I got a little torch here and some solder, you know, just to make sure that it makes a good connection. And once I've got those soldered on, I'm going to move this heat shrink back up onto the connection area. And the way this works, you just heat it up, just to the lighter works fine. You just heat that heat shrink up, go back and forth, and it sucks up and makes a tight fit. You know, I really like the way this heat shrink works. So now I can plug the 2 wires into the switch, put the panel, the interior panel pack on, just 2 screws on the bottom, and it clips in and done. Pretty simple process, and it looks great. Now, I'm not going to say that I am a light expert, because I'm not, but I do think they look good. The lights seem to be really heavy duty. They're heavy, and you know, I think they did a good job. They do a great job at lighting up at night. But let me hear what you think. Do you like them? Do you like where I placed them? Would you put them somewhere different? What would you do? So, you know, I'd like to hear your feedback. And I tried to give you some video footage of this out in a field, you know, looking at those deer, but it really doesn't do the video justice, because this camera tries to adjust when it's dark. You know, it tries to get a little bit darker, and then when it's dark, it tries to brighten up. So it gives you an idea, but it's kind of hard to really show you, you know, what it looks like at night. You know, it really lights it up. You can see really good. But I want to hear what you think about this, and I want to thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or what would you have done different, what you think about this, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.